What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the THCtemple. And check this out, man. Because today we're going to be talking about new age rappers. And the topic comes from my homie, what's his name, man? My homie's name is Luke Roy 9 on Instagram. So y'all can go follow my boy, or y'all can go comment and be like, yo, man, if y'all hate his question, or if you like his question, or whatever the case is. You know, either way, just shout out to the homie. He gave you the question. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to put out there. Either way, he said new age. He didn't say new age. I said new age. But new school rappers. And are they ruining hip-hop? So, basically what I think about that is, no, I don't think that new age rappers are necessarily ruining hip-hop. Now, does that mean that they aren't bad? No, because a lot of them are pretty much bad. Like, a lot of them are very horrible. You know, like, when you come to think about it, like, Lil Uzi Vert here, for instance. Lil Uzi Vert brings nothing to the table. Like, other than hot beats, which he doesn't make, what does Lil Uzi Vert give you that you couldn't live without? Him saying, hey, doodle in my pants. Like he can say, you people don't understand. Like, with a lot of these rappers, the beat be so damn hot, it don't matter what the fuck he said. Fuck that bitch on Tuesday, fuck us, blah, 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 blah. I just put a finger in my butt. Like, you don't rap anything that come on, cause the beat just hot. As soon as it come on, you're doing the jig and the dance and the twerks, and you don't know what the hell going on. So that's my whole thing. Not even my whole thing, but that's kind of my thing, because I do like, a lot of these guys, like, because especially like the freshmen, like the double XL freshman cover, all those guys, which was like what, 21 Savage, Lil Uzi Vert, Kodak Black, and a few other people, but especially that bunch, Lil Yachty, especially the mumbly guys, people don't like them. People always like, oh man, garbage, trash, and what, and a lot of people do like them now too, but it's like, it divides hip-hop a little bit. It's like one side saying, oh man, fuck them, and it's one side saying, hey man, y'all some haters, or y'all old, or some shit. That's one thing I don't like about it though, but let me hit this bowl real quick. That's one thing that I don't necessarily like about this whole thing, because I think that both sides of hip-hop are kind of closed-minded about each other, because like the fuck them side will be like, what would they say? Damn it, I just lost it. But I know the side, like, okay, say like the kids who like Lil Yachty and Lil Uzi, and not everybody now, but a lot of them will be like, oh man, y'all just hating, y'all too old, y'all don't understand. Okay, and the other side will be like, oh man, y'all too young, y'all don't understand, or y'all don't, care, or y'all don't whatever. And I think, like I said, both of them are a little too closed-minded about each other, because, to the fans of Lil Uzi Vert and Lil Yachty, y'all do have to understand. Look, like I say, one thing, because like I said, I'm a fan of some Lil Uzi Vert songs and Lil Yachty songs, and you know why I like them? Just because I do, like I can put it on and I can groove and dance, and and look, I can laugh at them. So sometimes they say some shit and it's genuinely funny. You know what I'm saying? Being funny on a rap song isn't bad, or saying something stupid that you and your friends can laugh to. Like watching a bad movie. Sometimes I put on some Lil Yachty or some Lil Uzi Vert so I can laugh with Matt. I be like, what he say, Matt? He say he ate a nigga like an egg roll, LMAO. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can just laugh about this shit. So you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of benefits to this music, and put it this way, like I said, everything that's not because it's, like I said, it's not great. A lot of the shit that comes out, oh yeah, and one of my favorite, let me just talk about some of my favorite new age rappers, like Kodak Black and 21 Savage. Hey look, I like 21 Savage. I'm gonna put on some 21 Savage, and the reason I do is because he's like the closest thing our generation has to a gangster rapper. He just talks about 100% gangster shit. Shoot you in your mouth, blow your face, all types of gangster stuff. And it's very, his lyrics are, if anything, a little bit like, that's the whole thing about it. Like, with some of these new age dudes, their lyrics aren't the best in the world, but since they're better than Lil Uzi Vert or Lil Yachty, you gotta be like, oh shit, well, at least he's better than him. But I don't know, man, but that's my whole thing. I think the older heads too, sometimes, I think they go a little too hard on the young dudes, because a lot of these guys, some of them do have lyrics. Like I said, 21 Savage, like his, like No Heart, No Advance. What's another one, like Ocean Drive? Well, the first verse of Ocean Drive. 21 Savage, one of his biggest problems, I think his songs go on a little too long. It'll start off pretty good. I'm like, damn, that was hot. And then he just starts mumbling and gumbling and flung. Either way, the whole thing about it is, like, these guys do have good things about them. They're not totally throw them out the window garbage. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like I said, the older heads won't even acknowledge that they have just a little bit of goodness in them. They'll be like, oh, straight up trash. Get them out of my face. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of these guys like Kodak Black or 21 Savage or, any of these younger dudes, even Young Thug, ain't no telling, what they'll be in a few more years, like it's not like they can, it's like, when they, as soon as they come in the game, it's like automatically garbage, get out of here, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I do understand it sometimes, because when you blow up today, especially in today's age, man, it's so easy to blow up. Like somebody like Kodak Black or Lil Uzi Vert back in the day, back in 2000 or something, they wouldn't be like, you think about it now, those guys are kind of sort of household names. Not household names in the sense, they're household names to hip-hop community, to the hip-hop community, or people who would claim to be in the hip-hop community. If you're in the hip-hop community, if you would say that you are, then you know Kodak Black, you know 21 Savage, you know these people. You may have heard of them, you may not know their songs, but you know them. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you know what I'm saying, where they are right now in their career, you wouldn't have necessarily known them. You know what I'm saying? They like, do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Basically what I'm saying is now, like even with me just sitting here making, there wasn't a time back in the 90s or 80s where there was a guy that was, making weed videos, and he had a big following, it just didn't happen like that. Or not even a big following, 100,000 people or whatever. It just, what I'm saying, like it was just smaller. Everything was smaller. Even if you were bigger, you were smaller. Nowadays, if you get a little bit of following, you can make a lot of noise. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing about that. Like I said, because today, my whole thing, what I mean by that is like when older heads are like, oh, fuck these guys, they don't deserve where they at. They're not really like 21 Savage and Lil Uzi Vert, all these guys, they're like, because, older heads will make it like, they're getting more credit than they deserve. But they haven't really done much, and they aren't really getting that much credit. It's just the fact that you have so many people in the hip-hop community now that, like I said, somebody who just comes in and blows up right there can make a bigger noise than back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, or back in the early 2000s. You get what I'm saying now? Like Soulja Boy was humongous when he first came out. Right now, Kodak Black and Lil Uzi Vert, all those dudes, they're like a Soulja Boy, or even oh no, I can't say. I was gonna say somebody like Slim Jesus, or what's the other dude named the dude who made that stick, Rich Chigga, like those dudes, who come out with those novelty songs, like people pass the video around like, hey, look at this Chinese guy, it's a white guy, he talk about gangster stuff, like those guys. I was gonna say them, they're kind of big too, but I was gonna say that they were kind of like a Soulja Boy, but not really, since their sales didn't really match up to it, because Soulja Boy, he was selling like the song, his songs were like platinum and all that shit and sold out hella ringtones, but the Slim Jesus and Rich Chigga, I'm assuming, they're getting show money and doing all that stuff. But like I said, they're making a bigger noise with just what they got than they would have ever made back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about that is, and let's wrap it all up at the end of the day to, is the new age fucking up hip hop? No, I don't think so, man. And my whole point of that is because today we have, hold on, let me pick one. Okay. Today we have, like I said, the littler guy being able to make a bigger noise today. When you look at people like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Joey Badass, you know what I'm saying? Any of your any of the rappers that, are undeniably lyrical and that people love and people fuck with, we have more of them now today than ever. Like I said, because now, like I said, a Kendrick Lamar, it would have taken him a longer time to get on than it did with today, because all he had to do, he dropped, like, I'm not talking about when he was K-Dot or Section 80, he had already, got brewed up. That's the joke. He had some heat brewing up, before he had dropped Section 80. So, but when he dropped Section 80, it was able to make a big noise, even though he was a little guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the internet and he had all of this, and y'all may think I'm crazy, but you got to thank people like Soulja Boy. You know what I'm saying? Soulja Boy made the Soulja Boy made hip-hop music, or not even just say hip-hop music, but just music in general. He made it so that every man could do it. Soulja Boy made it so I could take a mic, get the equipment, get on my computer, and make a hot track, put it out, and somebody take me seriously. That's the joke. You could always do it, but they wouldn't necessarily take you as serious. Soulja Boy made them take him serious because he showed that you can do that and make some money. That's the only way somebody gonna take you serious in this world, if they know that you can make them some money. And that's what Soulja Boy did. He showed them that you could take this, the simple MySpace or the simple everyman setup, and you can make $1 million with it. And that's what them corporations needed to hear. So now that's why I say somebody like a Kendrick Lamar, or, you know, whoever, you know what I'm saying, now these younger guys, you don't know who coming out in the next 5 years, you know what I'm saying, who designer opened up the door for him. Somebody like designer who panda. Now somebody's, you know, they seeing that designer, his first song went #1. First song, nobody ever knew his name. You know what I'm saying? That's unheard of. So people now record labels and just people in general, just, you know, the general consensus is now seeing, okay, I can take somebody, or even like I said, you know what I'm saying, you may have a song idea or something and be like, man, you know, I can take that and go to the top, or a movie or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's opening doors to just make stuff look serious. Because like I said, these people in corporations and stuff like that, they don't know where the next big thing is coming from. But guaranteed, if it look like it's coming from there, if they can see it coming, they're going to do it. And like I said, you know, back in the day, they'll be like, oh, that boy made that song on his Dell laptop. LOL, get out my face. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't made in $1 million studio, they ain't trying to hear it. Pathetic. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know what I'm saying, they don't care where it was made at. You recorded it on your iPhone. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a damn, because so many people done did it before now. So many people, like I said, those trash dudes, the Lil Uzi Verts and all those guys, they opened up the doors. You know what I'm saying? So now these labels or whatever, not even, like I said, not even just the labels, but even audiences of people, because even a consumer would do the same thing. A consumer would be like, they recorded that movie on the iPhone, ew. You know what I'm saying? But if an iPhone movie win awards and start winning Oscars and all that shit, then people will be like, well, I saw that last movie recorded on the iPhone, let's get it. Either way, I know I went across the world on that topic, but that's my whole thing about it, man, is, you know, I do think, you know, like the new age hip hop is, you know, like I said, it is kind of, not even to say wonky, man. I just think it's a lot lazier, because I think it's a lot, you know, just them having fun other than trying to teach you something. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, we still got a lot of guys that, you know, are trying to teach you something, or not even trying to teach you something, but is trying to say something real and trying to say something that's going to last for a long time. It's not like that's gone away and it's not going anywhere. Like I said, the more doo-doo that you got out here, you're going to have somebody that's going to be sick and tired of that doo-doo, and they're going to write some fire, and then you're going to create another Tupac. So like I say, it's not ruining hip-hop. Real hip-hop ain't never going nowhere. And you see that with J. Cole and, like I said, all these dudes that we got out here now. Anybody else, insert your favorite rapper in here. You know what I'm saying? It don't got to be J. Cole, it can be anybody. But either way, I'm going to hit this bowl and get up out of here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that, man. Whew. But y'all take it easy, man. You already know I'm up out of the building. I hope everybody stay alive and stay good and stay healthy while I'm gone, man. Until the next time you come back, whether you come back next year, 2, 3, 4 years from now, man, I hope you be good, and I hope everything be straight in your life, man, and I hope your life be better than it is today. You know what I'm saying? Either way, man, love y'all, and I'm out. Oh, shit.